It's showtime. That's what it says up here to me in the corner. When I go live, it says, it's showtime. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thursday, April 8th, 2021. Hope your day's off to a great start. This is Morning Joey. I'm your host, Joey Molinaro. For those on YouTube, you know the deal. Subscribe below. Every time I check, we keep getting more subscribers, which is great. So keep subscribing. For those watching on Twitter, remember, these videos live on afterwards. So you go to the YouTube channel. If you miss it in the morning, you miss a little bit of the show, lives there as well on YouTube. Go subscribe. Links to the merch below. I'm telling you, you need to get one of these. I tell you every single day. I have it every single day. I want you to have it with me. Go get yourself a Cup of Joey mug. The link to buy is below as well. Dad hat's below. Juju One Less Ride shirt is below. Mark Madden thinks they look like a dork and hates them. That means you should like them and you should want to get them, and a lot of people are. What up, Joey? So go get those, all right? Today, big show, and it's just me and you, all right? We're going old school. Me and a whole lot of you. Back after this. That's what like local radio guys would do when they don't have any guests lined up. But I have tomorrow's show is going to be really, really good. And I don't want to give it away. Today's show is going to be really, really good because me and you are going to be having fun like we do every single morning. But the guests for tomorrow, I'm very, very excited about. Plus, we got Glazing 5. I'm not going to reveal where I'm going yet. Going there right after the show. Actually, I might have to wrap up this show a little bit early because they close at 11. And so I got to get out there and make sure that I, get my donut fix in and can film. So I'm ready for tomorrow's Glazing 5. It's sweet. Do it every Friday. It's the Glazing 5. So we got that tomorrow, a guest that you're going to be pumped about and that I'm super pumped about. So that's coming up tomorrow. But today, like I said, me and a whole lot of you. So get your questions in, whether it be on Twitter or in the chat here, or whether it's on YouTube or Periscope. So I'm just going to this is what I wanted to do. This is, like I said, I want you to be able to every day say, you know what, I'm waking up and at least for an hour, I got an hour with Joey, and he's going to bullshit about things like Jim Everett and Jim Rome, or the best naps that we're going to rank today in honor of the Masters starting, or things like Dateline. So that's the goal, and that's what today is. So today is a chance for us to interact, for us to have some fun, to get your questions in. I'll go fully answering your questions here a little bit later. But this is what today is about. And I tweeted it yesterday. I did a video about the first interview that you see in every true crime show. And it's because I've been watching a lot of Dateline and a lot of Dateline before bed. So I always get kind of a weird reaction when I tell people that, everybody's like, what's your bedtime routine? They're like, oh, I read a chapter of a book, and then I meditate, and then I go to sleep. Or, oh, I throw on The Office and kind of scroll on my phone, and then lights out. Joey, what do you do before bed? No, I watch Dateline, the latest murder mystery from 8 years ago, told by the legendary Keith Morrison. Oh, okay. Seems peaceful. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Like, it obviously the storyline and what's happening in the content of the show is not what you would traditionally think that you'd want to have in your head before you go to sleep. So I don't know. I want to know your thoughts, because I don't know if that's a bad news for me. If that's like one of those signs that they say, like, if you wet the bed when you're a kid, or you like to kill ants and stuff, that makes you more likely to be a serial killer. I'm not proclaiming. I didn't do those when I was a kid. I don't know what this means, that I like to watch Dateline before I go to bed. I don't like. It's not like a fixation. I don't like get off to it or anything like that, or something weird. I just it's a good story. They tell the story really well. Lester Holt does the transition, so he's like really calming. You get my man Keith Morrison in there, the legend, best storyteller there is. So he gets you a little bit. Nobody can make you laugh about like a double murder suicide than Keith Morrison, because it's just the way that he tells the story. The pauses that he has in there are just absolutely unreal. He'll be like, they thought that this was going to be the end, but it was not. Like, you always got to be on your toes for Keith Morrison, man. You don't know when he's going to throw something, a little Keith Morrisonism in there. So yeah, it's like 45 minutes, an hour. Always the story is riveting. You know, you're trying to figure out this mystery. You got great storytellers like Keith Morrison. And I don't know if it's the music or just like the tone of the show that it kind of helps me relax at night. Again, because it's not like a horror film, you know, it's just a mystery. And so the mystery kind of relaxes me in a way. I don't know what that means. We got a lot of baseball questions in the chat. So everybody's nightly routine's a little bit different, dude. You know, you want to do some yoga and then cash out. You want to read a book. All right. I watch Dateline. I link up with Keith Morrison, you know, and I let him put me to sleep. I wouldn't be concerned about it. I'm not concerned about it. I guess I am a little concerned about it because I'm talking about it, but you know, it's just, people were giving me shit. You know, my buddies were like, that's a awful, like, weird thing to watch before you go to bed. I'm like, what do you watch before bed? They're like, I've been getting really into Jeopardy lately. Okay. So you think that I have something wrong with me, and then now you're 75 years old. So, you know, everybody's bedtime routine is a little bit different and a little bit wacky, you know. So it works for you. All right, let's go into the chat here a little bit. From D Hop, who's winning the Masters? Zach, I have no idea, guys. I've seen a lot of people picking Justin Thomas, so we'll go with him, I guess. Yeah, dude, the Reds look good. The Reds look real. I love Nick Castellanos. I hate that he got away from the Cubs. He is one of my favorite players in the big leagues, even though he's on the Reds. So, I mean, yeah, you guys look really, really good. You took 2 or 3 from the Cardinals. You beat the hell out of the Pirates. You know, I mean, Cincinnati's been building up with some young talent for a long time, man. So, you know, they keep the pitching. I know they lost Bauer, but you got Castillo on the bump, and you know, you got Castellanos and Votto still. And I mean, yeah, Cincinnati could be a force, man. Steven, the Cubs offense makes me sad. Yeah, it's been brutal. It's been brutal the last couple of days. It's been brutal the last couple of years, actually. And I've come to the point, Steven, where I'm just saying, you know what? I think we just got to accept that it is what it is. I think that it's unfortunately it's beyond fixing at this point. And it just is what it is. And so you gotta be ready for, you know, one night, you know, the bats will be working. We'll be putting up a lot of crooked numbers. You know, we'll hit 4 home runs like we did on Monday night. And then the next 2 games we'll be getting no hit going into the 7th inning. And, you know, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of in between. So unfortunately that's where it is. And I wouldn't expect much differently. So just be prepared for that. You know, enjoy the nights where 3 home runs, you know, people are the bats are hot. We're putting up crooked numbers, like I said. Enjoy those nights. Don't take them for granted. Soak them in. Watch them back over again if you have to, because the nights are the days where we're going to be getting 2 hit or no hit going into the 6th or 7th inning. Those are going to continue to keep happening. From Bake Jutler, how do you feel about the Browns come up and Steelers' future as the little brother? I mean, okay, yeah, like, again, Browns win one big game, and now they're you know, on their high horse and talking about little brother shit, even though the Steelers are like 23-4-1 against them in, I don't know, the last 16 years. So, you know, why don't we let this play out a little bit longer than one fucking game, and we'll see what happens. So, from Dan, ever been to Australia? Huge fan of yours. That's awesome, man. Thank you. I love that. Going worldwide. I haven't been. My dad has been, actually. He loves Australia. He's been one of my best friends, spent a summer abroad in Australia. But my dad has been. He has a connection with the Australian travel baseball teams over there. And so he's made a lot of really good friends, and he's been over there for like 2 or 3 weeks at a time. And but he loves it, dude. So, yeah, it's definitely one of the places that I'd like to go. I think the flight kind of scares me. That flight is long as shit, man. Yes, I don't know if I guess I just watched, you know, the whole Star Wars saga or something, but that's a long ass flight to Australia, dude. Before we get into the Masters here a little bit more and best snaps, I saw this on Twitter from last night. Meta World Peace, formerly known as Ron Artest, former Pacer, obviously. He tweeted 9 hours ago, Pacers are 2 years away from competing in the NBA Finals. I have them getting to second this year and then finals next year. They have some real pieces. Now, as a Pacers fan, I love that somebody like him is, putting his nuts out there on the line. But as an adult with a functioning brain and who's becoming more and more of a realist as I get older, you got to wonder what kind of night Meta World Peace was having last night. Was he a couple cognacs deep? Was he, was he in the rotation, the heavy rotation there? I mean, what was going on, dude? Or he was watching. He didn't preface it that he was watching like the 04-05 Pacers or something, and he was tweeting about them. Because this Pacers, I would like to have a follow-up tweet from that where he's explaining kind of the real pieces and his more explanation other than just, I see them getting there. Yeah, I would love that. I'd love to have him get there. But, your two best players continue to be hurt. Miles Turner is a shot blocker, and he's my buddy, and he can hit threes, and he's a very good NBA player, really solid NBA player. But the finals with Philadelphia and Brooklyn and Milwaukee in the same conference, I have them getting to second this year. So does that mean the second round? Does that mean the second seed? Because the season ends in like 2 weeks, and I think the Pacers are in ninth. Does that mean the Eastern Conference Finals? I don't know. There's a lot left on the bone there. Well, there you go. Meta World Peace. NBA Finals for the Pacers next year. So there's going to be a huge turnaround in Bankers Life Fieldhouse, apparently, according to Meta World Peace. I hope. I hope that's the case. I don't think it's going to be the case. I don't see it being the case, but I hope that it is. Jamie Anderson, Suns get little to no love. I saw that their record, what are they, like 35-14 or something? I mean, any team, it reminds me of like 2013, 2014, when the Pacers were, really, really good, had a really, really good regular season, won like 55 games, were the number one seed in the East. And there was, constantly that talk about, around here at least, oh man, the Pacers still don't get enough credit. Everybody's still overlooking the Pacers. Everybody's still just talking about the Heat, with LeBron and D Wade. And I mean, look, until the Suns, or it seemed like the Pacers are one of them, end up beating LeBron when it matters, then they're always going to talk about LeBron. They're always going to talk about the teams that he's on. Because like I said, in 2013, 2014, the Pacers started, I think, like 35-7. They dipped in the second half, and they ended up winning 50-some games, like I said. But the entire time, even when they were the best team in the league, there was like 1 week I remember where everybody's like, damn, I think this might be the year the Pacers beat LeBron. But then after that, it was like, we came back to our senses, and no, that's not going to be the case, and it ended up not being the case. So yeah, I mean, the Suns are a really fun team. I love the Suns uniforms. Always have loved the Suns uniforms. I like their throwbacks. I like their currents. I like their city editions now. But fact of the matter is, until they beat the Lakers, and LeBron when it matters in the playoffs, then everybody's just going to be like, yeah, I mean, they're really good, but they're not going to, they're not going to take him down. So. From Andrew, curious, you being a Steelers, Cubs, Pacers fan, which team gets under your skin the most, if any of them do? Man, great question, dude. It's seasonal. The Cubs offense the past 2 years has just been so fucking frustrating. And it's been so frustrating, especially after 2015, 2016, even most of 2017. When, they were just bashing. They were bashing. They were a threat. They were not to be messed with, especially in the middle of that line, top and middle of that lineup. And then all of a sudden, 2018, 2019, half of 2020 or whatever comes around, and it's like, what the fuck happened to these guys? Did like the Space Jam Monstars come and like take away their mojo and like they forget how to hit? I mean, it's baffling. So that's really frustrating. But I think the Steelers, just because, you know, the Cubs and the Pacers play so often, they have so many games. So like yesterday, yeah, it really fucking sucked that the Cubs tied it up. Chris Bryant had a chance to win in the bottom of the ninth. You know, they lose in extras. But they play again today at 1, you know? So I don't have to sit on that as much as when the Steelers lose on Sunday at 1 o'clock from 4 p.m. that Sunday until 1 p.m. the next week. I'm shitty. You know, like I'm pissed off. I'm like trying to figure out how, you know, what they got to fix, what they got to do. Like, it sucks, dude. So I think the just how few of games the Steelers play, how important each one of them are, just the way the NFL works, where, you know, everything is so important, everything's blown up. I have to say the Steelers, but the Cubs aren't far behind. The Cubs aren't far behind, especially with that offense. From Hackman _10, more important to the Cubs bullpen, Kimbrel's flow or Chafin's stash. Man, they both looked fucking incredible to start the year, which is really, really good sign, obviously. And, you know, just because when we signed Kimbrel, man, it was like, yeah, you're excited. He'd been out of the league. You know, it just feels like he's finally starting to, you know, get his feet again. He's finally starting to figure it out, which is amazing. I think the flow for Kimbrel, because I love Chafin, but you know, I feel like Kimbrel has been different since he's gotten the flow. We're starting to see the old Craig Kimbrel now that he has the flow. And I mean, he's just been absolutely lights out, locked down. I love both of them, though. I tweeted that Chafin's my new favorite player because this guy is just out. He's a lefty. He looks weird. He throws weird, but he's effective as hell, and he's shutting people down. So I love both of them in the back end of the bullpen. Really, really good news there. But again, man, just got to get the bats going, man. Got to cut down on the swings and miss. I don't know if they can, though. I don't know if they can. I keep coming back. It's like the definition of insanity, man. This is what it is. I've been the Cubs fan the last 2 years. Like I keep coming back. I keep coming back for more, you know, to say this is the day, this is the week, this is the series, this is the month that they figure it out and that we start to turn the corner and we become the Cubs again. And I'll still be there. I'll still be waiting it out, man. I mean, I'm not going. I'm not leaving. Just like Dom said, you know, talked to Ian Happ yesterday. I'm not leaving. This team is too important to me. This team has too much talent. Been with them through the ups and the downs for my whole life. I'm not leaving. That's the great part of it. But at the same time, it is frustrating as hell. All right, so the Masters get underway today. A few of you have asked me about it. You know, I'm surface level golf fan. Like I'll watch on Saturday and Sunday, mostly Sunday. I might throw it on today. Who knows? Just because now it's like this is kind of my job, and so I'm not in the office, so I can just throw it on. But the Cubs do play today, so I'll watch them. But the Masters start today. It's always like I talked about on Tuesday. You know, this is the last big CBS thing we have until football comes back around. So get the last of your Nance. Is Vern Lundquist still on there? Can't remember. But, you know, get the last of your Nance until early September. Enjoy that. You know, it's a great weekend, man. It's, you know, it's going to be beautiful weather most places. Like there's something that's always on. It's a 4-day marathon. You got to love it. I have no idea who's going to win. I have no idea who to bet on. So don't take my advice there. You know, go to the 4Play guys for that. They got you covered. But one thing that I do love about the Masters is that the annual Sunday Masters nap. And it always lands to where, you know, it's a pretty nice day. And then you have the Masters on and you've probably been drinking the night before. And you don't sleep in the evening or the afternoon, you know, or too late in the afternoon because you want to watch the final rounds. You want to see who wins. But, you know, right there in that noon to 2 range, you know, 1 to 3 in that area. Now I'm getting my golf voice. We're going to talk like we're watching golf. Woods, for par on 17. He got it. But yeah, right in that range, you cozy up on the couch, and it's like a weird. It's like the most sports fan ASMR is the Masters, because you can just lay there with your eyes closed, and you can have Jim Nance talk about the beautiful Sunday at the Masters, Augusta National, a tradition unlike any other. Spieth for birdie. Useful shot, light applause. That you got a little bird chirping in the background. You hear the surround, the surrounding sound, the background noise, the birds chirping. All while Jim Nance puts you to sleep. Hello, friends. This is Jim Nance. Welcome to the Masters, a tradition unlike any other. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. The ASMR shit's funny, man. I don't know if you guys have watched that at all or see it, but there's some. If you ever just do it. Just type in ASMR onto YouTube one time, and you'll go down a rabbit hole, and it's fucking crazy. The stuff that's on there, man. I mean, and it's not bad. It's not like graphic or gory or anything, but you're just like, whoa, man. There's people out here that have like 4 million subscribers on YouTube to sit there and go hi. Dude, it is wild, man. And there'll be 16 million views on those videos. I'm telling you, I think everybody deserves to check that out, and not deserves, but everybody owes it to yourself to just go down that rabbit hole and see the interesting kind of people, interesting kind of beings that we are, that people out there love that shit. But that's, yeah. And the Masters is essentially just ASMR for sports fans. Birds chirping. Spieth for birdie. Get on! All right. So yeah, that 12-3, 1-3 range on Masters Sunday. And you've been, like I said, you've been drinking the night before, had a nice little brunch at 10:30 or 11, sitting on your stomach, and then you're just cash out on the couch for a little bit. You hear it, you're kind of in and out, if something big happens, you kind of, you fall back asleep, but then that, you have to get up and go on a little bit so you can see the end and see the green jacket. So that got me thinking the best naps, ranking the best naps. And you gotta love some Vern on hole 16, man. Nice. Okay. I love it. So let's do best naps. 5, I got to go after school. There's nothing like if you didn't have practice, because for me, that was always the thing, is I always had practice or some, fucking lessons or something to do after school. And so I would be in 7th period or 6th period, I'd be like, fuck, I got practice after this, man. I'm so tired. How do I just want to sleep, And then those times that you wouldn't, on a random Monday or right after your season ended, and the first time that you didn't have to have practice after it, you could just go home from school. Your day was just split into 2 separate days. You had school, but then when you didn't have practice or anything afterwards, it was oh, I have a whole nother life after this. This is fantastic. It's a whole nother day. I have so much time to do so many things, and then you just go home and you'd sleep. But still, it was great. Go home, maybe get a little snack, throw the book bag down, put the TV on, and just fucking cash out for 2 hours. And man, as soon as your head hit that pillow, it was just all of you just remember instantly, I was so tired in 7th period, and now I can just fucking sleep for as long as I want, and nobody can tell me shit. until your dad came home and it was like, what are you doing sleeping? Get out there and work on your baseball swings. Get out there and take 300 cuts off the tee. This is why Colin is better than you, because he's not sleeping and you are. Not that happened to me. For Best Snap Masters Sunday, like I talked about, and that's probably higher for a lot of people than me, but since I'm just kind of an on and off Masters golf fan, Masters Sunday is for me. Again, it's nice, it's cozy, it's sports ASMR. It feels good to listen to while you're like half asleep with your hand down your pants and like your arm above your head on the couch, and it feels good. It's like 45 minutes. You just cash out for a little bit. And then you come back and you feel revitalized for the final rounds. 3, I went with on the beach. And I know that it could be risky because it's like if you don't have an umbrella or if the sun's just beating down on you, then you could end up with a really, really bad sunburn. So that's risky. But I'm going, in my mind, with an umbrella or like an awning, thing over you. So you got the water crashing down. That puts you to sleep. The wind's blowing a little bit. Maybe you got a little bit of tunes or like an audio book down there next to you. You're probably 4 or 5 White Claws deep or something. And it's like a perfect 83 degrees. You got the shade, so you're feeling good. Sunglasses on. Vacation, no worries, no problems, not thinking about anything. But if you don't have an umbrella or you don't have an awning to block out the sun, then you're running into some issues. You got to have that over there because if you cash out for an hour on the beach and you got nothing but the sun just beating down on you, you're gonna wake up like Mr. Krabs. You're gonna be waking up one of those, even sitting up, you're like, bad. Number 2, nap between day drinking and before going out. Also kind of dangerous because if you get too deep into a nap there, then you're never recovering and you're just never going back out. But if you start, let's say it's a summer day, you start at 11, you've been having drinks, you're out by the pool until 3:30, 3:45. The sun is starting to get to that weird angle where you're like, do I have to do homework? This feels like I should be writing to practice right now. And then you decide, all right, we're going to go back. We're going to go inside. All right, people are, they're going to eat a little bit or something, and they're going to shower up. And then while people are showering up, before you shower up or after you shower up, I usually like before the shower because then the shower wakes you back up a little bit. Let's say from about 4 till about 4:30, 4:45, you crash for a little bit, maybe even 5 o'clock. But then again, if you get too far, man, you go past 45 minutes or an hour, then all of a sudden you're not waking back up and you're just zonked. I've seen it too many times. Happened to me, happened to one of my best friends last weekend. That's just how it goes. You got to have about 30 to 45 minutes right in that sweet time where the sun's still out so you don't wake up when it's dark and you're like, where the fuck am I? Am I in a dream? Get up, go hop in a shower, not a hot shower, cool it down a little bit, wakes you back up. All of a sudden you get out, you're like, I'm a new man. I feel fresh. I feel clean. I feel revitalized. This is great. I've had my nap. All right. Had a little bit of rest, slept off the booze a little bit, shower up to get me going. Sweet. Get my clothes on, looking good, pop over another drink. Let's go have a night. If you hit that sweet spot, number 2 right there, between day drinking and going out, that is a really, really great nap. All right, so we've got 5 after school, 4 Masters Sunday, 3 on the beach with an awning or an umbrella, 2 between day drinking and going out, and then number 1 all time, hands down, my number 1. Doesn't get any better than this. The strongest, best sleep you've ever had. You're so fucking thankful that you get it. Number 1, the 10 minutes at the end of class when the teacher's like, all right, fuck it. Either work on something or just they're at their desk and you can do whatever you want. As long as you're not making noise or, jerking around and fucking causing trouble, they don't care. When you can finally just lay your head on your book bag or on your desk and do one of these, just bury your head into the darkness of your arms. No better feeling, man. Just completely liberating, because you've been holding on for so long. You've been holding on for 40 minutes of U.S. history that you don't fucking care about. Just like this. You know, maybe a little drool coming down. And so then, you know, and it's always the teachers that, like, if they do catch you, they're going to fucking call you out. But then at the end, for like 10, if you're lucky, maybe 15 minutes, you know, before the class ends, they're like, all right, we finished up early. Just work on your worksheet, or, you know, you have 10 minutes of free time. And as soon as that happens, fucking drool all over your book bag, red face. You look like fucking Two-Face from Batman walking down the halls in the passing period. Sleep much? And you're like, yeah, I did. Actually, I just got 10 minutes of solid sleep. I'm feeling fucking good now. Thanks. From Connor. Post-meal Thanksgiving nap with football on is also prime. Yeah, people say this a lot, but like, I've never been at a Thanksgiving where I can just like cash out like that. Like, I always have too many people, you know what I mean? Like, my family's too big, and like, there's too many people that I can't just like go take up a full couch and then just like ignore everybody and sleep. Like, my fucking grandpa and mom and grandma would fucking beat my ass. So I need to get on that train of Thanksgiving a little bit every now and then to break it up to where I can just cash out like that. But my whole life, I've never had that. It's like, you got to get there, you got to socialize, you got to say hi, you got to be on, you got to eat. And once you eat, then everybody's like playing a game or fucking talking more. Like, there's no time to do that. But I understand the premise behind it. I understand that that's like a really, really good one to have. But 100% agreed. Classmates would always F with me, though. Not cool. Yeah, see, that's where it was like, you didn't mind if you sat in the front row, or like if you had like a corner seat because you were kind of out away from all of that shit, you know? Like, if you were in the front corner, it kind of sucked. Ideal spot for a nap like this is like the row farthest away from the teacher's desk, in either like the first or the second seat. Because if you're in the first or second seat, no one's going to mess with you that much because you're too far away. And then all of a sudden, that row also is farthest away from the teacher's desk. So that's where you can get away with a little bit more shit, you know. From Peterson, Thanksgiving after the meal during the family small talk period, sneak away to an empty bed, hide from the fam for a bit. Wow. So you're going to an actual bed, not just a couch or like a recliner. That's wild. I have not heard of that. And again, like, my family's too fucking nosy, and like they're too big, you know. They would walk in, they're doing some tour for some reason, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, come show, let me see what we did with this new guest room. And you're like, and then like grandpa gives you shit and everything, and grandma's like, leave him alone, let him sleep. Yeah, so I never had that. I still don't. I guess the closest thing that I had to it was this past year, because it was, you know, right in the middle of COVID, right? You know, and so it was just my immediate family, like the 7 of us. And so it wasn't everybody together. Like that was the closest. But then at the same time, I'm kind of like, I don't want to be sleeping on Thanksgiving. Like, I like Thanksgiving a lot. Yeah. Sorry, tweeting out a link here. I'm weird like that. Like, some people, like the people who like to like sleep in on Christmas Day, freaks. Never understand it. And so, like, on Thanksgiving, I'm like, well, I like Thanksgiving football. Like, I like being awake on Thanksgiving and just enjoying Thanksgiving. You know, I'm even so crazy about Thanksgiving that it's like, even if I go out the night before, have drinks the night before with my friends, that you know, fucking, I'm waking up early because I want to see the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. So I'm like, you know, power of the pickle, drinking pickle juice and eating pickles, watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade at like 9:30 in the morning on Thanksgiving Day. because I'm like, I'll sleep tomorrow on Black Friday. Like, I like Thanksgiving. Sleep in tomorrow on Black Friday when people are going shopping, when your wife or your girlfriend or mom or whoever is going shopping, and before the college football games start. That's when you sleep over Thanksgiving break, in my opinion. But I appreciate you guys waking up with me as always. Like I said, tomorrow, really, really excited about tomorrow's show too. The guest, I want to say it's been probably like long awaited, probably a really popular one that I get asked about. And that we kind of, get tied to a lot. So I'm really, really excited about that. And then I'm going right after this here shortly to film tomorrow's Glazing 5 at a new location. So really, really excited. I've never been to this one before. I had been to Boyden's, I'd been to Jack's, I'd been to Long's in the first 3 that I've done. You can go back and watch those. I got the Glazing 5 playlist on this channel to watch those. Back again, and I've never been to this one before. I've had multiple people, including my wife, tell me I need to go to it. And so I'm really, really excited. So I got that coming up tomorrow as well as the guest. Let's see. From Spin Grig, is there an impression that you tried, but you just can't get good enough to film? This is a question that I get a lot. I'm trying to think. Who are some of the ones? I've been working on a Jim Morrison impression from The Doors. I haven't gotten it to the point that I like yet. Who's somebody else? Jim Harbaugh. A lot of people would say, and this is the time to get your questions in. I just tweeted about it. I'm taking questions and answering them right now for the last 10 or 15 minutes of the show. But yeah, Jim Morrison from The Doors I'm working on. Haven't put anything out yet. Jim Harbaugh. He's tough, man. He has particular mannerisms in his face. It does certain things that you can kind of get down, but his voice doesn't really particularly sound any distinct way. So that's one that's been requested a lot, and especially was like last year. But I haven't been able to get down yet. So those are the 2 I'd say right now, both Jims, Morrison and Harbaugh. From Garrett, you into the Masters? I think as I'm getting older, I am, and I don't know if that's just a natural progression of being, a white guy getting older, is that you just like start to like the Masters more and more. But yeah, like I'm excited. I'll throw on my Barstool golf hat today and go around and flip back and forth between the Cubs and Pirates and the Masters. Yeah, it's just good to be like in on everything. I don't like to like not be involved in things in terms of like not knowing what's going on. So, whether it be award shows or the Masters, like, yeah. I mean, I like the Masters better than award shows, but I was just saying like 2 things that I don't particularly get into that much, but yeah, I like to follow along and know. And I mean, I watched last year in the fall, and I watched 2019 when Tiger did it. And I'll watch a little bit this year. The watching time, again, I'm casual, so the watching time progresses as the week goes on. So by Sunday, I'll watch damn near the whole thing. Today, I'll just kind of hop around a little bit. From Ray, best advice when trying to get into the sports world for work. You got to be willing to eat shit for a while. Now, you got to be willing to give up things that you like to do or rather be doing to get your foot in the door and get more opportunities. You got to say yes a lot, even when it's something that you feel like you don't really care about or don't really know about or like don't really want to do. You got to just keep doing it, because the more you say yes, the more opportunities you're going to get, and the more opportunities you're going to get, the better you're going to get. So, it's not all going to be glamorous. You're not just going to hop in right away and like have your own show or, be a personality or whatever. You're probably going to have to eat shit. I ate shit for a long time. But the idea being that, if you continue to sit at the kids' table eating dirt, eventually you'll be able to get up at the fine china table. So yeah, good question though. From LG, are there some impression you try to just click straight away and others that take a lot of time? Yeah, so kind of similar to what was asked just a few minutes ago. Yeah, like the Coach O and the Saban and the Luck, my big hitters, I guess, if you will, those, I've just always just been able to do them. I can like listen to them and watch a video, and then I can just hear it in my head and do them. But yeah, there's other like the like Ray Liotta from Goodfellas. That one is one that I have to do a good amount of takes for. I can't just like rip right off the top of my head. I had to do a good amount of takes for that one. Adam Driver the same way. Carlson, even Fallon to an extent. I did a good amount of like rough drafts on Fallon, and then I finally felt good about it and like let it rip. That one's getting to the point where I can kind of just hop into it more and more. But yeah, it varies. From Spin Greg, Mount Rushmore of your favorite non-obvious bands, excluding the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, etc. What would the etc. be? Would that be like Nirvana and like Foo Fighters and Red Hot Chili Peppers? I mean, what how far do you get into etc. there? Because those three would be up there on my list. I feel like probably like the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Rolling Stones, those are kind of like the big ones up there. So for me, I'd say the Doors, the Police, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I can't think of a fourth one. I don't know. Let me look through my. But then again, it's like some people would put Red Hot Chili Peppers and the Doors up there. Like. It's all just about what your etc. would be. Yeah, the Police for sure. Other band like Outkast isn't a band, they're a group. But would you put Van Halen up there? I don't know. I don't know, but those are definitely the three. Foo Fighters, Nirvana, the Doors would be my three. Zach, I don't golf. No, I don't. And I think now it's to the point where where I'm doing it more so just because everybody, like I'm being a hipster non-golfer, just because like all my friends golf and everybody in my life just golfs and won't shut the fuck up about it. And so I'm just like, man, I just don't want to. Because I know that if I start golfing, then I'm just going to be golf guy. And so it's just kind of like my refusal to like want to be a golf guy, I guess. So I know it's a incredibly popular thing that pretty much everybody does. But I just have like different shit that I like to do like on the weekends or whatever when I have a chance. Like never in my life has my first thing been like, oh, it's a nice weekend or it's a nice day. Let's go hit the course. Like it's just not me, I'd rather go to like garage sales and like antique malls and shit and look for like cool Cubs or Steelers or Star Wars things, so that's my main hobby. That's what I like to do. No, I'm not a big golfer. I like the sport. I like everything about it. That's the weird thing is I like everything about it. You're drinking, you're smoking cigars, you're with your buddies, you're outside. It's great. I just don't like the golf. So, I'm like, if we're going to be doing all those things, why can't we just be like sitting by a pool? So, but again, I know everybody does. So you do it. That's fine. Everybody has their shit that they like to do in life. That's totally cool, man. From Phil, how'd you get into Barstool? Yeah. So again, another popular one. In 2019, I was working my job in Indy, and then I just on the side when I had free time would put out videos and put out sketches and impressions on my own. And then it started to grow. I started to grow a following and started to have more of my stuff get picked up and more people recognize, my work. And by the time the Combine came to town in February 2020, before the pandemic, Big Cat and PFT and Hank, they come here every year for that because that's, the center of the NFL world. And so they hit me up. We're like, hey, I've been following you. Would love to link up when we're in town. I was like, yeah, absolutely. So we got together. We did a few videos together. I hung out with them for a couple hours. Then Big Cat got my information and he sent it over to Dave. And then I was talking with Dave on the phone later that night. And then the next week, we're flying out to New York, me and my wife, to see the office and meet everybody and kind of get a feel for it. And then they made me an offer, and that's how I got in. So, yeah. No, Gary, that's really good. Yeah, the 2-part series, I was one of those I was like sucked into right away, and it was really good. Do I like the new Foo Fighters stuff? Yeah, no, I do. I was listening to it last week, and I was like, all right, this is cool. Like, most of the ones with the stars by it, right? I like how Apple Music does that for you and kind of is like, hey, here's what everybody's like, and this is probably what you'll like too. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll get down with that. Foo Fighters are awesome though. One of my favorite lines right here from a movie. Golf requires a goofy pants and a fat ass. Just ask my neighbor, the accountant. Huge ass. From Happy Gilmore. I don't know. Would you guys want a Happy Gilmore 2? A sequel? I wrote a blog about it that was like, please don't do it because it's not going to be as good as the original. And I don't want the original is just too good. And I don't want to spoil that. I don't want to have that like skid mark of like Jingle All the Way 2 or Caddyshack 2 or fucking Home Alone 4 or whatever the fuck. So I don't know, but I see where it could be good to have him and Shooter on like reuniting on like a seniors tour. You know what I mean? Like it would be hilarious, and I'd watch it and I'd love it, I'm sure. But I'm kind of just like, just don't give in. Just don't give in. How do I take my cup of Joe from Ryan? So I'm on oat milk. I have black coffee and I pour a little bit of oat milk in the cup beforehand, so I don't have to stir it. So I'd say probably about fill the cup up that much with oat milk at the bottom, pour in the black coffee, let it sit for about, 30 seconds. It'll mix up. There you go. So just a little bit of milk and then mostly black. I like, it's like, what would be a good color comparison? I'm trying to think of like it's like probably like a Hershey's milk chocolate color. It's not totally black. But it's not like super creamy. And it's just, it's good. It's right in the middle. Hi, Mom. Where's Happy? He is currently laying down. He's passed out. He's kind of being a little shit last night. He's kind of he does this thing where he sleeps to start the night. He sleeps with his head, like half his body under the bed, his head under the bed, his butt out. And then he goes fully under the bed. And then about 3 a.m., he wakes me up and he's like, clawing, trying to get on top of the bed, and I pick him up and he gets in the bed. So last night he was being pretty wild, but he's a DB boy. He's cashed out right now. Oh, I'll take him with me to do Glazing 5, of course. From Jake, what are the top 5 TV shows to fall asleep to? Yeah, this is going to vary. It's going to vary for everybody. My 5, I would say to fall asleep to 5 Seinfeld, 4 Dateline, 3 5 Seinfeld, 4 Dateline, 3 old rerun. No, wait. 3 Diners, Drives, and Dives, 2 Family Guy, 1 The Office. Yeah. That's pretty good. You kind of mix up those every now and then, but that's about spot on to what I'd say. What's the coolest interview you've done? Man, I enjoy doing all my interviews. I really enjoy interviewing people. I'd say, I don't know, Herb Street and Collinsworth were super cool just because I've watched them for so long. And the fact that like they know my name and like know who I am was very surreal and cool. So those have probably been the 2 most surreal. I'd say Ninja has probably been the coolest one I've done just because he's such a mega star and such a big name, and he was nothing but just cool to me. And then he, we had so much fun. But yeah, I enjoy interviewing everybody, man. Really. It could be like my fucking grandpa or some guy off the street, or it could be, Nick Saban. I'd enjoy the hell out of all of them. So yeah, that's one of my favorite things to do. All right, I got to get running the Glazing 5 because I close at 11. So I got a little bit of a drive. I got to take Abby out there. I got to do all this shit. So I got to go. I appreciate you waking up with me again. Tomorrow's show, really, really looking forward to it. Got a couple big interviews. Got Glazing 5. I'll reveal where I'm going later on today. But I appreciate you waking up with me. Again, be sure to subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're not on YouTube, go to youtube.com/c/cupofjoey. Subscribe to the channel for daily content, daily videos, and the daily show from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Link below to get this cup in the description to buy. So buy these up. The Juju One Last Ride shirt, buy that up as well. Hope you guys have a great Thursday. Enjoy the Masters. I'll talk to you tomorrow live at 9.